You complete me.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we have picked the best of silver screen couples from 1960 to today.
My sweet baby.
Number 10. Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
You've got an idea.
It's not a brilliant one.
In the final installment of the franchise, Harry, Ron, and Hermione race against the clock to destroy Voldemort's remaining Horcruxes. While many fans were probably hoping that the titular Harry would be the one to end up with the smart and beautiful Hermione Granger, it's his best mate Ron who ultimately wins her affection.
You do it.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
While this film series didn't reference the budding relationship between Ron and Hermione as much as the books, the two still make a cute couple. The unique take on their first kiss particularly stands out in this adaptation, making for a truly applause-worthy moment. Harry can have the glory. Ron is happy to get the girl. Number 9. Satine and Christian, Moulin Rouge.
I can't believe it. I'm in love.
This highly stylized musical romp burst off the screen and into the hearts of audiences around the world. At the onset of the 20th century, a young writer falls head over heels for a cabaret dancer. While this relationship definitely falls into the tragic category, that doesn't make it any less exhilarating.
In the name of love, one night in the name of love.
From opening line to final credit, you'll be at the edge of your seat, hoping upon hope that Satine and Christian will sing just one more song.
But I love you until the end of time.
Brought to life through the mad genius of director Baz Luhrmann, the incredible set pieces and dazzling musical numbers would be rendered mute if not for the relationship that serves as the core of the film.
I will love you.
I will love you.
Number 8. Sebastian and Mia, La La Land.
I walk along the avenue. I never thought I'd meet a girl like you. Meet a girl like you.
Will Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone just get married already? Having already played lovers in a number of films, perhaps their best and most memorable performance came in this Los Angeles set musical that scored them a couple of Oscar nods and a win for Stone.
It's pretty strange that we keep running into each other.
It is strange.
Playing the roles of Sebastian and Mia respectively, the chemistry between the two actors is palpable. From steamy dance numbers to intense conversations about life and jazz, the characters' relationship is equal parts believable, whimsical, and melancholic. From beginning to end, Gosling and Stone prove that they are true Hollywood heavyweights.
I'm always gonna love you.
I'm always gonna love you too.
Number 7. Alvy Singer and Annie Hall, Annie Hall.
I love you. You know, I loathe you. I love you. With 2 F's, yes. I have to invent. Yeah, of course I.
Woody Allen proved on more than one occasion, in both this film and 1979's Manhattan, that he is the master of neurotic New York City romance. Woody Allen does it all, writing, directing, and starring in one of the few romantic comedies to win the Oscar for Best Picture. The film is about an angst-riddled comedian who falls head over heels for the titular Annie Hall, played by the always charming Diane Keaton.
Still the thrill that it was the day I found you.
The two actors appear born for their respective roles, providing a more than convincing portrayal of two people struggling to understand their own complicated relationship. Whether they were drinking wine on a balcony or boiling lobsters together, Alvy and Annie made for a truly unforgettable couple.
Maybe we should just call the police. Dial 911. It's the Lobster Squad.
Number 6. Maria and Tony, West Side Story.
Stay with me.
Maria, I love you so much.
Don't leave me.
The film adaptation of the hit 1950s Broadway musical of the same name brought with it the same level of dramatic intensity and whimsical delight. Inspired by Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, the plot revolves around Maria and Tony, two Manhattan kids caught up in the middle of a vicious gang war.
Every sight that I see is Maria.
Throughout the film, audiences are treated to a number of fantastic musical numbers, highlighted by a couple of stellar performances from the two protagonists. It's their passion for one another that drives the plot forward. While their relationship ends in tragedy, the brief love they share is as intense as any seen on film before or since.
I've just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same.
Number 5. Noah Calhoun and Allison Alley Hamilton, The Notebook.
I want all of you, forever, you and me, every day.
What early 2000s teen didn't want a relationship akin to Noah and Allie? Set in 1940 South Carolina, The Notebook is the tale of two teenagers from different ends of the social spectrum who madly fall in love. As the years roll on and the two become separated, it's only through sheer will and determination that they once again end up in each other's arms.
It wasn't over. It still isn't over.
Rachel McAdams and Ryan Gosling knew what they were doing when they signed on for this film, as they used their impressive acting chops to create two believable characters that audiences can't help but cheer for. If you don't cry when the credits roll, you're probably watching movies wrong.
Good night.
Good night.
Number 4. Holly Golightly and Paul Varjak, Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Holly, I'm in love with you.
So what?
So what? So plenty.
One of the decade's defining films, this classic 60s romantic comedy has remained one of the genre's most culturally significant works in the years since its release. The film revolves around the exploits of New York City socialite Holly Golightly and her relationship with handsome next-door neighbor Paul.
Did I tell you how divinely and utterly happy I am?
While Holly continues to pursue other men for their money, she's constantly drawn back to Paul, unable to ignore her feelings for him. Noted for their oddball behavior, highly developed personalities, and impressive style, Holly and Paul set the standard for all 1960s film couples. Number 3. Harry Burns and Sally Albright, When Harry Met Sally.
When you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
It's hard to picture an 80s film couple without these two characters jumping to mind. The seminal picture that closed out the decade with a bang, When Harry Met Sally is the story of, you guessed it, When Harry Met Sally. The two characters weave in and out of each other's lives over the years, stopping here and there to discuss their current physical, emotional, and sexual states. Ultimately, desire wins out and the two end up happily married.
3 months later, we got married.
Yeah, it only took 3 months.
12 years and 3 months.
A constantly sophisticated repartee makes their relationship one for the ages, as both characters share flirtatious exchanges over the course of the film. Unsurprisingly, the film came in at number 25 on AFI's 100 Years, 100 Passions. Number 2. Danny Zuko and Sandy Olsen, Grease.
Danny, is this the end?
Of course not. It's only the beginning.
If you want to talk about iconic 70s film couples, one stands above the rest. Immortalized by downright sexy performances turned in by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, this musical is one of the greats. Danny is a bad boy greaser who falls in love with the sweet Sandy while on summer vacation. However, when the season ends and they part ways, it doesn't take long before they're unknowingly reunited at a high school pep rally.
Sandy!
Danny?
What are you doing here?
Unforgettable is hardly a strong enough word to describe this couple, as their roles as star-crossed lovers from different social circles has transcended the genre and become one of the most recognizable in film history. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Wait a minute! Wait a minute!
And I don't really have enough money for a hotel, so I was just gonna walk around. And it'd be a lot more fun if you came with me.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you?
Number 1. Jack Dawson and Rose DeWitt Bukater, Titanic.
You nervous?
When this film was released, it broke box office records, raked in awards, and set the standard for large-scale productions for years to come. Yet Titanic is perhaps best remembered for the chemistry that emerged between its two leads. At the time, Leonardo DiCaprio was no stranger when it came to playing hunky characters. His previous film roles included Romeo in Romeo and Juliet. However, he took it to another level when it came time to shoot this flick, especially during the iconic scene where he holds Kate Winslet on the Titanic's bow. In the pantheon of film couples, Jack and Rose are king and queen of the world.
I'm flying!